I'm gonna say something kind of wild, but it's because I saw it somewhere. But I don't know if we might have to cut it out. But anyways, someone said that the reason why some girls' vagina is tighter than others is because, huh? No. It has nothing to do with that. They said that it's because, like, ethnicity-wise, like black men have, are known to have larger dicks, so therefore the women have bigger holes. And then
that doesn't make sense.
There's a podcast named Under the Influence that are being dragged currently on TikTok. They just want them out of the space because they are just causing nuisance. So they did a podcast, and one of the girl, her name is Esther, she was talking about black women VJJ, right? Saying that black women VJJ is going to be wide or is wide because of black men, and naturally they have big P. So definitely all black women have wide VJJ. I agree with the fact that when it comes to buying mics, when you want to buy a mic, they should ask you, what are the things you're going to be saying in your podcast? Give us what you're going to be saying in your podcast before we sell you a mic. And when you start saying anything, you're going to return the mic and even pay for saying something like that. I really don't get it whereby women would try to say that in a podcast and try to analyze another group of women VJJ just because I don't know what you're trying to drive at. Hey beautiful people, how y'all doing today? It's your girl Maria Davis, and I'm back again with another interesting video. I have a reaction on this video to share with you all today, so let's go ahead and listen to what other black women have to say concerning the situation. Then I will share my thoughts at the end of the video. But then, are you a black woman? What is your take on this? Imagine an Asian woman coming to a podcast and analyzing your VJJ, saying that all black women VJJ it's going to be wide or is wide. Like all black women VJJ is wide because of black men P are big. Imagine. What is your take? Can you share your thoughts in the comment section respectfully? Let's go ahead and watch these stitches together, and I'll see you at the end of the video.
I don't remember where I was specifically, but when I was little, somewhere in the US, I was around 8 or 9 years old, I was in an adult conversation that I should have been in. It's not like these grown-ups were talking to me, but I was in the vicinity and I could hear basically what they were saying. And I remember at the time it was a group of black men talking to each other. And this was not a kid-friendly area. They were talking about women in the most naughty way and all the ways that you could think they were. And then they started talking about specifically women genitalia. And at some point, I remember one of them saying, "Hey, haha, Asian women have sideways genitalia." Yeah, this is where we're going. And at the time, again, I was a kid and I should not have been around to hear that, but at the time I still had a general understanding of women genitalia. I'm Haitian, so in my culture, like, women tend to be naked around other women all the time. Like, if my mom's taking a shower, she would be naked, I would see her body. If my aunt's taking a shower, she would be naked, I would see her body. It's not something that's rare for us, most of us at least. And with the brain of a little girl, even with that little understanding of the human body, I had a general understanding that even though these things might vary in, like, size and color, they're still kind of laid out the same. And so I thought that was kind of silly. At the time, I was too young to understand that it was a racist and a sexist comment made by that man. And, I forgot about it. Years later, I would be in college listening to 3-6 Mafia, Half on a Sack, the one that you guys liked. There's a part of the song that basically says that same sexist and racist stereotype against Asian women. And I must say again, it is racist and sexist. But not only that, it's ridiculously stupid. It's one of the most dumbest and ignorant things I've ever heard in my life, and I still stand by that. So, now that I'm 25 years old, I would not go to a podcast and talk about Asian women's genitalia in the first place. And even if I find myself in a conversation with a man or a woman who said that, I would probably deter from engaging in conversations that are sexist and racist towards Asian women, especially with the layer of humiliation that comes with what is being said. Not only are you speaking about somebody's private area, somebody's intimate area, because you shouldn't in the first place, but you're also feeding misogynoir, specifically misogynoir, because one of the best ways to dehumanize women and make them feel less than for men and other women to do is to talk about their body, especially that area. And call me sensitive if you want to, but I think it's extremely dehumanizing to talk about a group of people like that, even if the statement is ridiculously fucking stupid.
So I'm sure by now we've pretty much all seen that clip of the Under the Influence podcast where Esther says that wild, out-of-pocket ass shit about black women and our hoo-has in other regions, whatever you want to call it. We obviously know that the statements that she made was just incorrect. And besides it being just wrong, it's extremely racist and sexist. But I'm a curious cat, so I was like, I wonder if there maybe, I'm going to Google about this. And here's what Google told me. According to the American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology, this study was, the design was 40 black women and 40 white women. Their pelvises were measured and, did the whole individual dimensions of all of the pelvic anatomy or whatever. And it says here, the results. It says, African American women had a 5.1% smaller pelvic floor area than European American women. This was attributable to a 10.4% smaller posterior area, whereas the anterior areas were similar. Conclusion. In African American women, the posterior pelvic floor area is 10.4% smaller than in European American women, resulting in a 5.1% smaller total pelvic floor area. The next source I have is from PubMed. There was this one that they used MRI to compare dimensions of the pelvis and structures of their pelvis between black women and white women. Now, I'm not too fond of the sample size difference for this one because it was 178 white women versus 56 black women. And I just feel like that's a little bit skewed, but I still want to use it. But it says that their results were the pelvic inlet was wider amongst the 178 white women than the 56 black women. The outlet was also wider. It says there were no differences in certain, in their spine. But it says conclusion. White women have a wider pelvic inlet, wider outlet, and shallower anteroposterior outlet than black women. In addition, after vaginal delivery, white women demonstrate less pelvic floor mobility. These differences may contribute to observed racial differences in the obstetric outcomes and to the development of pelvic floor disorders, which is wild because I know so many black women that have pelvic floor dysfunction. Another source from PSFM Online said that there was a study done using vinyl polysiloxane casting. They did this to determine between black, white, and Hispanic or Latino women or people with vaginas who has the smallest one. So it was 23 black women, 39 white women, and only 15 Hispanic women, which I don't, but whatever, we're going to keep going. It says this person says to me, the most interesting data compared vaginal shapes among 23 black women, 39 white women, and 15 Hispanic women. The researchers found that the Hispanic women's vaginas were wider overall, longer in the back, and shorter in the front than the vaginas of other women. The study also noted that the white women had a much larger vaginal opening than did the black women. So basically, white women tend to have longer vaginas at the front of the body and shorter at the rear. Hispanic women tend to have a larger overall width with the shortest length, and African American women, black women, tend to overall have the smallest width. I truly didn't even think that there would be a difference, but I'm surprised. Science. Yeah. Anyways, just wanted to come through with that little fact. Have a good day. Mwah, no bars.
Like black men have, are known to have larger, so therefore the women have bigger holes.
Bitch, if you can't fuck, just say that. If you can't fuck, just say that. Okay? Because that's what this gives. It gives that you have a whack ass pussy game. Okay? It gives that you have the corniest, they can't throw it back ass pussy game. You gotta pick up a whole race and run a negative ad campaign to prop yourself up to say what? Cause all I heard was, damn, my pussy's whack at the end of the day. That's what I heard from you. I heard I got some whack ass pussy game and I can't fuck at the end of the day. That's what I heard. And I want you to know that's okay. But to pick up all black women, you gotta pick up the whole race of black women to prop one pussy up. God damn, that shit sucks. That shit got to suck. You can go and work out your shit, okay? Learn how to throw that shit back, snap at it, okay? But that just lets me know, ain't wrong with hearing a woman talking like, oh, you gotta lose this. I know for a fact, when you lay your head down, you can't throw it back. And you got whack ass pussy at the end of the day. Just to be clear, I want you to know, all of this was you just trying to say that you can't fuck, babe. And I want you to know that's all you had to say.
This is an all-time low. You really resorted to racism, misogyny, misogynoir to get picked? Was it really worth it? And I don't know which one of the guys on the couch was talking about some that makes sense, because y'all do realize that was a dig at Asian men too. I am so sick of the fetishization and the objectification of black bodies, because there is just a total lack of respect here. She said in the beginning that...
You guys, I'm gonna say something kind of wild, but it's because I saw it somewhere. But I don't know if we might have to cut it out. But anyways, someone said that the reason why some girls' vagina is tighter than others is because, huh? No. It has nothing to do with that. They said that it's because, like, ethnicity-wise, like black men have, are known to have larger dicks, so therefore the women have bigger holes.
No, that
and then you know how
that doesn't make sense.
Waking up with black women on your mind, it must be hard. It must be hard that black women living rent free in your head. To make comments on a group of people's body parts, like, it seems like people will find every and any angle to try to diminish black women. And you know what? When you hear pick-me's talk, you can't even be mad at them, because they would say every and anything in order to please the people in front. Even the people in front of them, it's like, well, this doesn't make sense, and you're still trying to push it. And the fact that you are a part of another marginalized group and you're trying to kick down another group of people in that group is wild behavior. It costs absolutely nothing to keep black women out your mouth. It costs absolutely nothing to keep black people out your mouth. It's free. Nobody's charging you just to be quiet. The fact that you sexualize a whole group of people for clicks and views, knowing that it was a crazy statement because you stated that at the beginning, is nasty work. People, you gotta do better.
So black women have naturally deep, wide-set vaginas because black men have big Now, if I get on here and say I know for a fact hers is built like a dead squid limb, smells like a gallon of garbage juice, 2 bottles of expired buttermilk ranch from the farmer's market, and a dead Bichon Frise, I'm going to be a bitch, right? It's okay to get on the internet and say crazy shit, but when you are saying crazy shit for the validation of men, if you think that you have to be a dead brain dizzy bitch to get some dick, my sister, you are trying too hard. They will fuck a tree. Next time, just try shutting the...
What is your take on this video? As I asked earlier, can you share your thought down in the comment section? Respectfully, as always, when people try to insult other people about their VJJ, I see that as you yourself, you don't feel good about your VJJ, right? And imagine you just saying black women VJJ is white. Like, what do you mean by black people VJJ, black women VJJ are white because of their men? Do you even know what a VJJ is? Do you know that it's elastic? Do you know that even though a very big thing enters, it comes back when it leaves? And even when a small one enters, you will still feel that small thing entered. If something very big wants to enter and is lubricated, it will enter. If it comes out, it comes back. And that's why you see women that give birth, even though it might not really look firm the way it's used to, that is the face, but then it still feels like the same thing, if you know what I mean. So a VJJ is an elastic, it's like rubber, so it comes back. When you stretch it, it comes back. So when this is just giving pick me, because this is what most men usually say, and they usually say, oh, women that do have so many body counts, their VJJ is different, that this is that, that this is that. I'm like, what are you saying? Or women that have given birth cannot have, a very nice VJJ anymore because they've, tampered with that side. Or a very big head came out, a baby's head came out of that VJJ. When it comes to vag, I do not actually see any difference in everybody's vag, any race vag, right? But then the woman that actually shared the study was like sharing some few studies white women own is a bit, wider, black women are smaller and all of that. But even though it's just a bit different, and normally, to me, I feel like vag is vag, right? So you coming out to your podcast and talking about black women, right? Like, what is these podcast people's problem? Can't they just get black women out of their mouth? I feel like if they want to trend, I feel like if you have a podcast and you just want to trend, just talk bad about black women. Just talk bad about black women and your videos are everywhere. I feel like these podcast people already understand how the work goes, how they can go viral. So they just pick up any topic and be like, you know what, in today's video, we're going to talk about black women. We notice that our views are not really viewing anymore. So let us say something about black women that will make them very angry so that the video will, go viral and they talk about it. That is one thing I feel like most of these people do, because most of the time, podcasts, when it comes to podcasts, people just bring in their mics and sitting down around and talking and gisting and all of that. Most of the time when they go viral, it's about them bashing black women, not just black people, black women. I feel like maybe you're kind of jealous of them. If you're always talking bad about a particular person, you wish you were like them. So you just want to talk bad about them so that a set of people will not see them the way you are seeing them, if that makes sense. What is your take on this? I really don't know much to say about this, but then does this make sense, especially coming from a woman trying to analyze another race, kind of the size of their down there just because of the size of their man P? Doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't even sound well for you to say it out there. And to think that these people might still come out and make an apology. I feel like they will come out and say, oh, this is an apology video, because that is what they do. They always come out to say, oh, we're sorry, we didn't know it was going to go this far, we didn't know things were going to just come and just talk and just apologize, just for them to trend again. I see that all these are just for content's sake, and even though really that is what they say in their closet, or that's what they say when they are not with the camera, but when you're editing the video and you see something like that, can't you just take it off? Abby is unedited video. What is your take on today's video? Can you share your thoughts in the comment section? It's your girl Maria David, and thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.